TEDx Memphis. It is an honor to be here and also pretty timely if you ask me. See,
Can you guys hear?
I'm fresh on the other side of my quarter-life crisis. Now, to be clear, the crisis is still here. I just turned 26, so your girl aged out. I'm on the other side of that quarter-life side. And if you're not familiar, a quarter-life crisis is basically like a midlife crisis, just 25 years early. So you're still asking the same questions of who am I? Am I using my time well? What are the things that I really want to do in terms of family, career, health, drinking water, staying hydrated, all of those important things that we have to pay attention to. And for millennials, this is actually a pretty big phenomenon. According to the Center for Disease Control, 1 in 3 millennials have a diagnosed anxiety disorder. And anxiety is one of the key elements of any kind of crisis. It's proven math, I promise. And for us, it's not just about figuring those things out, but we're doing so in a world that really human history has never seen before. We have things such as the internet, which is endless information. We are living in some of the most innovative and prosperous times according to the United Nations, the World Bank, the IMF, and also are still seeing persistent inequalities that seem like they haven't really moved much in centuries. According to every credible climate scientist, if we don't change what we're doing by 2050, we will have irreparably damaged our world. So there's a lot to take in there, right? And when you're looking for purpose, which usually comes in the question of, what do you want to do with your life? That's a big challenge. And I have a theory that for millennials and for all people, we're probably a little scared. So, in the spirit of new friendships, it's time to overshare. We're going to dive into my quarter-life crisis to work through how I believe that following purpose has kind of kept us stuck. And really, we should be focusing on wellness, and I believe that that will give us the answers we've been searching for. So, I've had the fortune of basically knowing my deepest fear since I was really little. Some people call that precocious. Other people call that an undiagnosed anxiety disorder. Tomato, tomato. The first time I really recognized what was going on, because I had always felt like something was there, it was when I was in Trinidad with my family visiting my other family. My mom's from Trinidad and Tobago. And I adored my grandmother. She was incredibly creative, so when she was getting up to do art projects, like, I'm there, you know? So we're walking one morning to her kiln to get her new ceramics, and I'm holding her hand. And I noticed for the first time that her fingers were really wrinkly, and the verdant green veins in her hand were popping out more than I was used to, and her fingers were also a little thin. And it hits me that, you know, she's older and she's not going to be here forever. And I'm like her, so I'll be older and I won't be here forever. So little 8-year-old me is like walking into an existential crisis. And I have to let that go pretty quickly because my hand had been like a limp fish in hers. So she's like, Chloe, you don't love me anymore? Thinking I don't want to hold her hand. So I squeeze it really tight to prove to her that I love her. And I get out of my existential crisis and I'm like, nope, I'm here. And that moment really shaped how I went through life going forward. I told myself, okay, I know I'm scared to not be here, so I'll love on my loved ones really hard. I'll figure out how to be a very good person in the world, and I'll follow my purpose and dive deep into it. So I'm doing this, I'm on it, I'm deep in school, and I get to college, I'm ready. So I join all these kinds of clubs. I don't just join them, but I volunteer myself to be a leader in them. I'm an RA, so I'm taking care of 30 women every year, which is one of the best things I had ever done. And I'm in school, I'm a student, I'm doing all these things. I'm like, great. But something was feeling off. Like I didn't really feel like myself. And so I thought, oh, well, maybe I'm just busy. That's the price of purpose, right? Like you're just really busy. Stress is cool when you go to a liberal arts school. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm doing the thing. This is great. And but at the same time, I recognize, you know, I probably need a rest or what they call a vacation at some point. And that moment seemed to come for me in the summer of 2015. So I had a mentor in school, her name is Julia Hannah-Brink, and she was shepherding a grant for the National Institutes of Health. And so we partnered together to bring that to Trinidad and Tobago and work with the University of West Indies, serving a project that served people with disabilities. So I'm like, cool, I'm still in purpose, but I get to go back to Trinidad, which was the first time I'd been back since my grandmother had passed. And I would get that kind of rest, and I was so ready to be back on the island, to see my family there. And so I get there, and going through the work, trying to make friends with my fellow researchers, and doing all these things, and whatever was going on with me was still there. And I was like, man, I thought, the ocean air, the island breeze would just like melt this away. So I was like, maybe I just need to be here longer. So about halfway through, we get invited to a harvest festival at a friend's Catholic church. And I'm not Catholic, but my grandmother was, so I'm thinking about her a lot on the drive over. And, I'm thinking about her, and then all of a sudden it occurs to me, oh, crap, I don't know how to do the thing, right? And so I'm just like, oh, okay. And so I get in line, and I'm like watching everybody else do the thing. And when I get up to the priest, I just freak out. So whatever I did was not it. And I was like, okay, so he's just going to throw more holy water on me to cleanse this, and we'll just move on. But it really had me thinking through all of the rituals my grandmother did to be such a devout Catholic and to be so wonderfully steeped in her purpose and give good to the world. So to be honest with you, I have no idea what that sermon was about. I was just sitting there thinking of my grandmother and thinking about purpose, and the kind of feeling I was feeling was bubbling up, right? And I'm usually distracted, looking at any and everything except the message. So when everybody breaks for lunch to celebrate with the feast, I kind of sneak away a bit because I needed just some space to figure out what was going on and get my head right so I could be all smiley with people, right? That's the thing. So I go out and I look over at the edge of the mountain, and I'm looking down to the south of the island, trying to see if maybe I could see Princess-Town. I had no idea how I was actually going to know if I'd seen it or not. It's just way down there. But looking at that large expanse and also being in the mind state I was in, something felt different. And all of a sudden, I felt like a freight train hit me in the chest, carrying emotions that I didn't know before. I felt like the whole world was trembling, like I was being pulled apart. I'm having a panic attack. I'd never had one before, so this was crazy. It felt like an earthquake in my body. So I'm looking around to see if everything else is also shaking, and it's not. So I'm just freaking out. I hate how I'm feeling, and I can't stop it. So I go back into the church, right, because I also don't want people to see me and I just get on my knees and I start praying, and I'm crying, and I don't know really what I'm saying. I'm just like, this feels really intense, and to be honest, I just want some help. Please make it stop. That moment was very serious for me to slow down. So when I got back to the States, I decided, okay, I'm going to check out therapy. And I was an RA, so I always told my residents, if you're feeling off, you should go see a counselor, right? Because it's so easy to tell somebody else to go see a counselor. So I get there, I'm prepping for it, and I'm someone who needs time to process. So I was like, okay, well, this therapist is really not going to tell me anything I don't know about myself. And so I'm going to write down, and I brought it for you, because this is me being wild. I wrote down everything I had gone through in my life and thought to myself, okay, I'm going to read her my checklist, and she's just going to tell me the things that I already know, which is I need to sleep more, drink water, take care of myself, rest. And I thought, okay, cool, I'll get the therapist to tell me this. So when my friends say, hey, let's go out, I can be like, oh, sorry, Mary, I got to sleep, therapy is crazy. So that's what I'm on, okay? So I walk in there, got my little list, and she, smiles at me, that kind of building trust smile, like I've peeped game, And she's like, so, how are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm great. And she's like, okay. So, what brings you in today? So I pull out my little list. I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, Susan, here are all the things. I go down the list, and then I look at her. And her trusting, inviting smile had turned into so how are you? And I don't know what voodoo magic she pulled on me, but I start bawling. I mean, it is like Niagara Falls is falling from my face. I am just torn apart. And the truth is, that was the first time I had been honest out loud about what was going on. So what I didn't share with you, and it's because I had also not been sharing it with myself, was that I was heartbroken. The person, my high school sweetheart I had been with for 5 years, who I thought I was going to marry, I broke up with him not too long before because we didn't really know ourselves outside of our relationship, and he hadn't been there for me when I had a tumor in my breast for 9 months, not knowing if I had cancer or not. After the stock market had crashed in 2008, there was financial strain on my family, and dealing with that as a younger kid, that's a lot of the world to try to figure out. I was also feeling anxious, I had depression, and I didn't know it. There are also tons of things on this list, but we're not that close yet, so you don't get to know them. But the gist of it is that I was really not being honest with myself and pursuing all of these things outside of myself, thinking that if I pursued them hard enough, I could push my anxiety down and all of this fear I had, all the challenges I had, and they would just take their bags and go packing, right? Like, get out the pain, you know? That's not how anxiety works, that's not how life works, and that's certainly not how death works, which is what I was scared of. So the next 5 years, what I really had to do was get back to the very basics. I had to learn how to be healthy. And what that looked like for me is I had to figure out, what does health look like for me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and socially, and make those things my number one priority, which is code for I had to make me my priority. That's a wild thing to do when you were so used to doing everything external, to serving, to loving, to trying to push everything around the world to be peaceful. But when you're avoiding yourself, that's not possible. So I developed a wellness routine. And for me, that looked like all those things I thought my therapist was going to tell me. Just sleep, drink water, exercise, take time for yourself, go to therapy. It's important. It will save your life. And honestly, that was the basics for me. And then on top of that, I had to figure out, okay, what are the things that I need to nourish myself? And one of those things is flowers. My parents probably knew this when I was little. They named me Chloe, which means blossoming, which I think is kind of cool. But those are the kinds of things that you really get to know about yourself when you take a pause and look inward. So on top of getting to the basics, getting to know myself, I started having moments where I felt peaceful inside, no matter what was going on. And this brings us to 2019, the best and honestly hardest year of my life thus far. So it's the best in the sense that the program I had been working on for the past 3 years got funded, which was great, and I now run that program. I got named to a few professional lists, including the Forbes 30 Under 30. Wow, didn't see that coming. I also fell in love even wilder, because I definitely didn't see that coming, with an amazing partner, and we got to travel all over the US and Europe, and honestly, it's the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. On the other hand, it's also been the hardest of my life. I had debilitating anxiety that really, I would be in the bed for so long and felt like I couldn't move. I lost loved ones to gun violence that I did not expect. I had all of these still questions around, how do we make change in the world? How do we go through and make meaning out of our lives when there's so much pulling at us? How do you rest? And what I would say that I'm most proud of through all of it is that through every moment I was present, I was healthy, I was myself, and I can confidently say that I thrived throughout all of what was challenging and wonderful at the same time. That is called wellness. It's being able to manage the internal and the external in a way that creates a harmony for yourself to where you know you are still grounded in who you are. You're at peace with all of what is in you and around you, and figuring out, okay, what are my next best steps? So let's go back out and look at the world for just another second. Aside from all the apocalyptic facts I told you in the beginning, there are also a lot of great things going on. We have people who are promoting causes, who are protesting in the streets saying, we know we deserve more. Look at Hong Kong, look at what's happening in India. Look at honestly what's happening in the US every day. We're trying to figure it out. And really the reason I think we haven't figured out just how to do this together is because we've all been so wrapped up in what is our purpose. Purpose has two options. You can set a goal, you can meet that goal, but then you're bored and you have to figure out new goals. It's like this endless cycle, right, of chasing external things. Or you can set a goal for yourself that is so far out that it's actually unattainable, and peace and fulfillment's always just beyond your reach. So you consume and you grasp and you take in so much all the time looking for, how do I make this better? And the truth is, I don't think it's through purpose. I think really what we're looking for when you see protests and you see people fighting causes or going to work, you're looking for fulfillment, we're looking for peace inside, and we're looking for how do we act well and be well with one another. And you cannot give or make what you don't have, so how do we make world peace when we don't know how to have peace for ourselves? So if you want to save the world, if you want to live in an environment that is thriving and where prosperity looks the same for all of us, not just the few who have the most privilege, you start with you. You start with figuring out, what does health look like for me? Physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, spiritually. And work really hard on being good at you. Because just like hurt people, not peaceful people wreak havoc, right? So my challenge to you today is to really take serious this commitment to cultivating wellness for yourself. Because once you are filled yourself with that kind of peace, it has no choice but to flow out into all of the spaces around you. And I can guarantee you, you will enjoy your life so much more, which is truly the reason we're here. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk.
What do you guys think? Good TED Talk for Wellness Wednesday, right? Now we need good music for Wellness Wednesday so we can get started. I don't even know where to go with this list today. Let's do some lo-fi. It's kind of loud. All right, so Rich Risings, everyone. How are we today? Today is Wellness Wednesday. Today is Wellness Wednesday. I welcome all of you in. What we just listened to was a TED Talk about the importance of not chasing purpose, but to seek wellness. So I thought it was a pretty good TED Talk for, to start off our Wellness Wednesday. Just to kind of give you guys something to think about in the morning. So let me get started with my usual. All right, so hello and welcome. My name is Shantae. Most people know me as LifeCoach614. Hey, Katie. Hey, Demi. Welcome in. So I'm the visionary behind the Self-Care Club, LLC. For those of you who don't know, it is a virtual club, which is just a haven for all things self-care. So again, my reminder to everyone is whether you're here for just a virtual cup of tea with us in the mornings, a mindful moment, or if you're just looking for some inspiration when it comes to self-discovery, I welcome you. You're in the right place. We are going to begin with our safe space disclaimer. Here at the Self-Care Club, we celebrate diversity and respect. And we understand that every individual is unique. So just keep in mind that when you are in this space, that this is a judgment-free zone where kindness and empathy and understanding reign supreme. That means this is not a space for trolls. So if you are trolling, please exit stage left because we don't have time for it. We encourage open dialogue, and I encourage you to keep the discussion supportive and uplifting. Just a few gentle reminders that everyone's self-care journey is different, so I encourage you all to embrace your uniqueness. Be mindful of each other's experiences and feelings. And as a reminder, if you need additional support, remember that our doors are always open. You can always head over to selfcareclub.org for more information on how to schedule your free life coaching session with me. All right, so we got the disclaimer out the way in the beginning, right? So today's Wednesday, January the 3rd. It is the 3rd day of the new year. How we feeling about that? I know who you are, Miss Gloria. How we feeling about the Thursday? I mean, not the Thursday. Sorry, the 3rd day. Year off to a good start for everybody. Let me see some green hearts. Can I get some green hearts? Y'all okay? You here? I see you. You just here. It's cool. I'm glad you're here. So today I thought it would be interesting. Thank you. I see a couple green hearts on the north side. South side, they still sleep. I don't know what they doing over there. Now you want to send some green hearts because I said the north side was winning. Okay, it's cool. I got y'all. So today, I decided for Wellness Wednesday that we would talk about digital wellness. So with digital wellness, it's a holistic approach to maintaining a healthy and balanced relationship with technology, right? Like, we have all of this wonderful technology, but we need to learn how to balance our life with it. So in today's digitally connected world, it is really crucial for us to be mindful how we interact with our devices and how we interact with each other online. Rich Risings, Capri. So digital wellness refers to the proactive and intentional use of technology to maintain a healthy and balanced lifestyle. It encompasses various aspects of well-being in the digital age and aims to help individuals develop a positive and mindful relationship with technology. Maintaining a healthy relationship with technology is crucial for the overall well-being, and digital wellness can play a significant role in self-care by helping individuals establish a healthy and mindful relationship with technology. So, how many of you, and be honest, I am not judging because I will raise my hand too, right? When you first wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you grab? Go ahead, let me see your hand if it's your cell phone. First thing you grab in the morning, your cell phone. It's me. And whether it's to turn the alarm off, whether it's to check how much longer I have to sleep, or it's to see, that fear of missing out, everything I missed since I first, last closed my eyes probably an hour ago, 15 minutes ago, things like that. It doesn't matter. The first thing I do is grab my phone. And, the sad reality is some of us have somebody laying right there with us and they're not the first thing that we acknowledge, right? We ourselves haven't even acknowledged ourselves. We haven't even done one thing self-care related, and we're online checking for everyone else. Where we haven't even taken the time to tend to ourselves. We haven't even taken the time to tend to our partners. So, when I started looking at it in that aspect, I was like, yeah, that's pretty trash. Like, that's kind of crappy. You know what I'm saying? Like, our immediate focus is that phone. What did we miss? What can we catch up on? Lady Blue said you would think it would be her glasses since she can't see nothing without them. Me too, but listen, when I grab that phone, honey, this phone is big, so I don't even need my glasses. I can navigate without the glasses with this phone, okay? Maybe not on the outside screen, but that inside screen got me covered, okay? So I don't need glasses. I don't need to see clearly. So I thought that it would be important and it would be a good idea for us on the first Wednesday of the year to, just start to be more mindful when it comes to how we begin our day, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, there's so many things that we can do that's still a form of self-care while we're on this, while we're utilizing technology. Demi said, nope, not me. I can disconnect. I grab my gratitude journal. Amen. Everybody, don't be like me, be like Demi. Okay? Don't be like me. Let's be like Demi. Now, I will say that if I'm just smart and I utilize the journals that I already have on my phone, that I could still grab my phone, I just need to use it for good, right? So then that way I still feel like I'm winning. Because it's not the fact that we picked up the phone, it's what we do when we pick up the phone, right? So we can still utilize technology, but we just need to do it in a healthy way. And we need to be honest with ourselves. Are we really doing that in a healthy way? So what we're going to talk about are some ways to incorporate digital wellness into your self-care routine. So the first thing that I came up with was mindful screen time. It's a good idea for us to set specific times for checking emails and social media to avoid constant digital interruptions. We should use features like screen time tracking to be aware of your daily digital usage. I had to do that with TikTok. When I first got on TikTok, I would be on there for hours. I would look and all of a sudden the sun had come up and gone down and I was still scrolling. Like, my take a break literally just popped up on my iPad for TikTok saying, you know what? It says time to take a break. You've had 30 minutes of uninterrupted screen time. Consider taking a break for a while. And I would say, okay. You see what I'm saying? So it's like utilizing those type of features because I knew that I could sit on TikTok for hours. So I had to turn that on. And although it definitely drives me crazy, it is my reminder to put the phone down. Same thing like, with our watch. My watch goes off every hour telling me to get up. Hey, sister friend. Hey. Yeah, so it's all about accountability. It's all about accountability. So using, technology is here to stay, and I think the technology is great. I just think that we, the people, need to utilize technology to our advantage. And that's why I said, using features to set, screen alerts to say, hey, you know what, you've been sitting here for too long, get up. Or put the phone down or something like that. Or, if you track your usage on the phone and you look how long, because there are apps where you can see how long you've been on certain things. When I went back and saw how much time I was spending, and I'm like, no wonder I don't have enough time to do the laundry. No wonder I ain't cooked dinner. No wonder I don't know what's going on in, this person's life or whatever, because I've been glued to this thing. And I can't even tell you what I did. And at that point, I wasn't even sitting in safe spaces. So I was just absorbing hours of toxic energy. You know what I mean? So once I saw it in black and white, I was really able to understand why I was feeling the way that I was feeling when it came to everything. Hey, Jen, welcome in. So, that rhymed. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Okay, anyways. So I was able to understand why I felt the way that I felt. And it was just honestly because between the countless hours that I was wasting and the toxic spaces and people that I was entertaining, left me feeling empty. You know what I'm saying? It just really left me feeling empty. So consider taking some, specific, breaks. Put yourself on a schedule, you know what I mean? To just kind of, have a little moments where you're like, okay, this is when I'm going to check my email. This is where I'm going to do this. Next we have digital detox periods. Lady Blue, do not yell at me, okay? I know that this is a dirty word and this is probably going to be your least favorite on the list. Digital detox periods. Schedule regular digital detox periods where you disconnect from screens and engage in offline activities. You mean to tell me that you want me to put the phone down and do something that is not online? Yep, I do. Use this time to focus on self-reflection, relaxation, and activities that bring you joy. So no, taking a shower doesn't count, and going to sleep doesn't count. I want you to purposely put the phone down, put the iPads down, close the laptop, right? We're going to completely be away from these screens that are emitting all of these blue lights that are ruining us anyway, right? Read a book, the actual book, not the Audible book, even though it's really cool on the screen. Deja, sissy. Rich Rising's beautiful. Look at all the fam pulling up today. Okay. But yeah, we gotta physically, pick up one of these things. Y'all remember these things? No, you don't have to do it for days. You don't have to do it for days. God, no. Like, I would never curse you out like that. Just set mindful moments. I mean, it depends on you and your life, right? Like, if you want to do days, you can do days. More power to you. Demi over here saying that she do both. I don't have Demi to do. I can't put my phone down for days. It's not happening. I got to have something to do on the phone. Okay, I cannot. I could, but I won't. So that is why I said that I creatively find ways to still do stuff that's healthy. Whether it's me listening to a meditation or things like that. Now, I will say I try not to look at the screen. But like I said, I will still use my phone for like meditations and things like that. But it's self-care. So it's still going to be about your personal journey. You got to make it yours. This book right here, no, this is not my book, honey, but I definitely encourage this book. Turning Your Mess into a Message. It's a really cool book. Where did I get this one? You guys can get this. It's called messinabottle.com. And it's a journal to heal, to love, and to figure out your mess. So grab a screenshot if you're interested in this journal. messinabottle.com. But yeah, this is a way that you can take some mindful moments for yourself. And it doesn't just have to be this journal. There are plenty of different journals out there. So you always want to make sure that you find something that kind of resonates with you. But the digital detox period is for you to use that time to focus on self-reflection, relaxation, and activities that bring you joy. I think Demi said like she likes to go out and take a walk. See, I don't really be liking nature like that. But I do try to at least go out, and if nothing else, I will go out and try to ground myself. As much as I don't like nature and how nature be naturing out there, y'all, I do try to occasionally take my shoes off and stand directly on the ground. I can't do it in all the grass everywhere, but there are some spaces and places I am comfortable in doing so. But just trying to ground myself, to actually go get fresh air, to actually go get some of, nature's vitamin D by absorbing some actual sun rays, things like that. So, I mean, I can definitely say I've done things like drive over to the park and have my morning smoothie or smoothie bowl and just sit in the park and enjoy. Things like that. So, I mean, again, try to utilize some sort of digital detox period. There's also tech-free spaces. So you can create tech-free zones in your home, especially in relaxation areas like your bedroom. Designate certain times of day as tech-free, allowing for your mental breaks. So that's something that can help with your digital detox, right? Have certain rooms or spaces in the house where technology is not available. Don't tell my husband that, because he's going to try to make our bedroom tech-free. And, oh, Lord. It is a good idea, though. But, so designate some tech-free spaces. When we sit down and have family dinner, we usually are tech-free. We typically all agree. It's like one of us will bring it up, and then everybody just kind of puts their phone down. So that way we focus. We're really good at doing it when we're out to eat. We are tech-free. We kind of put the phones away. My husband gives me permission to, get my food porn on, because I like to take pictures of my food. But after that, we kind of put the phones away and just enjoy. So I will say we do it then, but that's something that I can honestly say I need to work on more. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate you. And then so there's mindful consumption. Curate your online content to include positive, uplifting, and informative sources. This is probably my favorite one. This one is about cultivating your safe space, finding a safe space online. Because listen, if you're going to waste time online, why not do it in a safe and positive area? Hey, I'm doing good, love. How are you? Unfollow accounts or mute notifications that contribute to stress or negative feelings. Let them toxic people go. Okay, like I literally will be doing a purge on TikTok because I haven't been on TikTok for a while. And so now that I've kind of shifted my mindset on toxic people and toxic energy, there's a lot that I need to clean up when it comes to TikTok. My Bigo is pretty good because I've been over here, so it's been a safe space from the start for me. So I don't know, I already don't follow toxic people. In the moment that I deem someone's energy as not good for me or not in alignment with me, I kind of give them the boot. Not being judgmental, it's just we're not aligned, so you can't sit here. But I need to go back. And that's going to be a difficult thing because, being a content creator, having like 12, 13,000 people, I'm going to be scrolling. I'm going to be scrolling for a while, unfollowing people. I wish there was an unfollow all button and then I could go back and start over. But we gonna figure it out. Even if I got to break it up to, 30 minutes a day of, purging. It's something that's important to me because it can be a safe space and I have to remember why I started. So, yeah. So, I definitely encourage you guys to go back and unfollow accounts. And there's nothing wrong with blocking and removing people or spaces that aren't for you anymore. It's not like you're damning the person to hell, like you're erasing them off earth. You're just removing them from your space. And that is self-care. That is something that is important that I encourage everyone to do. Because at the end of the day, your presence, like you're just being in somebody's space, is a gift. And if people aren't appreciating your presence, then you shouldn't be present there. Thank you for the follow. Rich risings to you. So, again, if a person is not, appreciative that you are simply here giving your time and energy to them, why are you giving your time and energy to them? Exactly. Miss Kirkland said, y'all can snooze people without them knowing. You just won't see them unless you want to. That's probably my favorite feature on Facebook. It says, take a break. Hey, Lisette. Yeah, and I take a break from people all the time. That's another one that I have to go through. So, like, Facebook and Instagram, for me, get, like, the leftover energy, if any. And I need to go back through there because, see, Facebook is a lot of family. Rich Risings, Queen Majesty. Facebook is a lot of family. But listen, family be toxic too. Family be some of the most toxic energy you got to deal with. And I've realized now at this age that I don't have to deal with them. And so I have to go back and purge over there too. So y'all, I'm finna be taking a break from a whole bunch of people over there because I want to be back in those spaces. My whole purpose as a life coach is to reach as many people as possible, but I am like running from certain social media avenues that could be beneficial to me and my business because of the people that are over there. And I'm like, why not just get rid of the people that are over there, right? So again, use those features, take a break, unfollow, snooze them. Snooze them or lose them. All right, so one thing that we can do, that we can use our digital, devices for, digital journaling. Does anyone does anyone have any digital journals? Green hearts if you do any sort of digital journaling. Nope, just a physical. Okay. Lady Blue got a digital journal. Yes, she does. You write in yours, meaning like a paper book? Hey, who's asking? Capri. Yep. Okay. Okay. So it says one thing that you can do is utilize a digital journal. It says use digital platforms for journaling and self-reflection. Apps or online platforms can be convenient tools for this practice. I like both, to be honest with you. There are some things. So what I've learned is I like Gloria, that can be one of them. Gloria's question was, does that mean like writing in the notes section on your phone? Yeah, that can be a form of a digital journal. Journals are not always things that are prompted or guided. You can have a blank notebook that you write in. So yeah, that is still a form of digital journaling. For me, I learned that I am more honest and reveal more on my digital journal than I do in my written books, if that makes sense. I'm more comfortable on my digital journals because they're under lock and key, right? Versus my paper books that anyone can pick up. Now, that probably stemmed from before my marriage not being in the best of relationships and having people who would violate my privacy, right? Because some people don't know the difference between transparency and privacy. And so you would have people who would pick that up and read, your journal, your diary, whatever, and then use that information against you. So in that aspect, I would be scared to be honest in my journals. But, again, we fast forward now. I'm in a healthy relationship. My husband is fully aware of what transparency is and what privacy is. So, still having that. But I learned to journal on my phone and to utilize the digital ones. And so I now have a love for them as well. Plus, they're everywhere with me. Whereas I didn't travel with my paper journals. So I love having the ability to journal everywhere. And so I utilize my phone for that. I will tell you, shameless plug, that on selfcareclub.org, which happens to be my website, that there are several digital journals out there that I encourage you guys to look into. They are journals that were written and designed by me for you. And right now, with any purchase that you make of anything on the website, you get one free digital journal of your choice. So, if you want to try one out, I'm giving them away for free with any purchase. So, you can go on there and you can buy you an actual paper journal, because I got those too, because I'm for everybody, right? So you can go buy you a paper journal and you can get you a digital one free, and then you can tell me. I know, I'm back. Listen, Rocky's mom, I'm gonna explain. So everybody on TikTok is like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. So I had to take a break from the TikTok. I had to take a break from the TikTok because it was too much. And during that break, I have been trying to kind of drop off the energies that I experienced. I was just trying to let some toxic stuff go from TikTok, friend. And so during that time, rather than, being over here on TikTok and, being unhappy in that space, I took that break, reshifted. I mean, honestly, I kind of took a break from social media, period, the month of December. And I used that time to focus on my studies. So I was taking a lot of classes last month, and I used that time to redo my website. But yeah, I know. I'm back. Every morning, 7 a.m., I'm back with you, okay? So yeah, but digital journaling is something that I do encourage you guys to try. It doesn't mean you have to choose one or the other. Honestly, you can have both. Like I said, I have both. And on selfcareclub.org, we sell both. So if you haven't been over to the website, honestly, I would tell everybody, even if you're used to the website, go, because in December, I removed everything. Like, I literally cleared and purged everything from the website. And every single product on that website now is a brand new product that was designed. And there are over 100 new items over there. So I was busy for December. The other items I will filter back in. I'm going to have a massive sale here soon. But yeah, I think that you guys will love the new designs and things over there. And like I said, for those of you who like paper journals, I have new hard cover journals over there that I think you'll love. And then for those of you who are interested in trying out some digital journals, there's a few different ones over there, and there are more to come. So, all right, so let's get back into this. The next thing I had on the list for you guys is digital meditation and mindfulness apps. Explore meditation and mindfulness apps that can guide you through digital sessions, helping you to reduce stress and promote relaxation. So, you know, one of the things that I definitely encourage you guys to use is like your smartwatch, right? Your smartwatches. I like to take mindful moments for breathing exercises, and I use my watch for that all the time. To guide me through, you know, when to breathe in, when to breathe out. And the watch vibrates, so I get to stop, close my eyes, and just relax. I can set it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long I want. That's digital meditation, right? There are apps like Calm, Headspace. There's another one I can't think of right now. Calm is the one that I typically use the most. But they have guided meditations. Y'all, it's YouTube. Y'all can use YouTube and type in 5-minute meditation for stress, 5-minute meditation or 10-minute meditation for anxiety. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever type of meditation, you can literally just go to YouTube and listen to some sort of guided meditation. But yeah, so that's another way that you can use technology for good. Boundaries for work and personal tech use. Establish clear boundaries between work-related digital activities and personal digital use. So you want to make sure that you set specific times for work-related emails and have, you know, periods of off-limit time. So especially for people who work from home, you want to make sure that you're not working for free, right? You know, sometimes we don't know how to turn off the work mode. And so we give additional time and more hours to something that when we should be focused on our personal lives, things like that. And vice versa. Sometimes we're handling more of our personal business when we should be actually working. So make sure that you are being mindful for that. Number 8 on our list is positive online interactions. Engage in positive and supportive online communities like the Self-Care Club that align with your interests and values. Foster meaningful connections online that contribute positively to your well-being. Y'all like how I snuck that in there, right? Engage in positive and supportive online communities like the Self-Care Club. Number 9 is use digital skills development. You can use digital platforms to develop skills and engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Explore online courses, creative platforms, or digital hobbies as a part of your self-care routine. I can honestly tell you guys that that is something that is also very fulfilling. There are apps that you can, take courses, like virtual courses, for honestly whatever it is that you're interested in. YouTube is another thing that you can use to teach yourself how to do things. So if you've always wanted to knit or crochet, right? You can go online and find someone who is teaching you how to knit or crochet. Things like that. So, I mean, again, I'm not saying that you got to chuck the phone away, never to be seen again. You just got to start to be more mindful of the things that you're doing. Allow technology to help you develop something new. Don't let it just be time wasted, right? There's also digital relaxation techniques, which is kind of what we just talked about. Utilize relaxation apps and guided imagery videos for stress reduction and relaxation. Incorporate digital tools to facilitate deep breathing exercises and calming sounds. A good one that I can think of, again, YouTube, is what we use. But they have these soundscapes. Like, my husband has learned that thunderstorm sounds, rain and thunderstorm sounds calm him and relax him. So he was listening to it on his phone, and I hipped him to YouTube because we have the paid version, so we don't have interruptions. But there are videos that run live on YouTube 24 hours a day that is nothing but thunderstorm sounds. Capri says ocean sounds calm her. Yeah, so you can utilize things like that. ASMR. Some people are really into ASMR. I personally have not located my own tingles yet, so I haven't really got into it. I know what sounds relax me, but you can utilize things like YouTube, your Spotify, Apple Music, things like that, and listen to specific sounds. I like YouTube because they also come with the visual. So now I do the thunderstorm sounds on TV for him, and he actually gets to see the rain, hear the rain. Oh my God, they have one that's in a car, and it sounds like we are asleep in the car, and you hear the rain and the thunder, and it is very relaxing and soothing. I alternate with him that and binaural beats because I like to listen to the healing frequencies. So one night we'll do the thunderstorm. The next night I get to choose, which I typically choose a healing frequency. And that helps us sleep as well, because at this point I'm immune to the thunderstorms. I don't get the same, relaxation that he does from that anymore. So we've kind of mixed it up a little. But I mean, again, that's just us utilizing digital relaxation techniques to help. Make sure that you guys are using your phone to set reminders to have your notifications turned off. My phone automatically, I think it's at 9 or 9:30 now, goes into do not disturb. And so use, those timers and devices to automatically disable those non-essential notifications to reduce the distractions and constant urge to check your phone. Every time I say that, I think of my poor brother who has set this timer on his phone but has not figured out how to make his phone not be gray screen. So I don't know if you guys know, but like when you put your phone into do not disturb mode, hey Smooth Criminal, rich risings to you. When you put your phone into do not disturb mode, you can have it go from the color screen to gray screen. And it is like that visual reminder for you to put the phone down. And I don't necessarily know who that works for, because even when I was using it, I still had my phone. I was just so frustrated that the screen went from color to gray. But then I became immune to it. And so I quit caring. And I kind of think that's where my brother is in the process, that he just kind of quit caring about it. But for some people, that is they're more accountable people in the world than me when it comes to that. So that's still a feature that's out there for you guys to use. I encourage you to try it. Maybe it'll work for you. It doesn't work for me. I don't think it's working for my brother. Hey, Nito, Rich Risings. Hey. But yeah, so establish a tech-free time before bed. Avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bedtime to promote better sleep quality. Consider engaging in a relaxing screen-free activity instead. Now, this is something that I have been trying here recently, and it has been working. For those who do know me, y'all know I'm team never sleep. But for the last week, I have been getting sleep, minus New Year's Eve. I was up purposely, but I have been more mindful and haven't been getting on my phone in the evening, scrolling and things like that. So having some tech-free times before bed is definitely a helpful thing. For the past few nights, I've been just getting in bed, putting my phone on the charger and not touching it, not picking it back up. And that, I can honestly say, has been helping me to relax and calm down. That coupled with the melatonin. Yeah, it's working for me. But again, I mean, these are all forms of self-care, and we have to remember that self-care looks different for everyone. So it's going to be trial and error. I give you guys a bunch of different ideas, and I'm being honest and transparent, saying that some of these work for me, some of these don't work for me. But you guys have to try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to try it, and you got to figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Engage in outdoor activities. Spend time outdoors and engage in activities that don't involve screens. This can help reduce eye strain and promote physical well-being. Again, this might be great for the people in the South. It's cold up here, right? And so I don't want to do that because it's cold up here and I don't like the cold. I'm actually allergic to the cold. So with that being said, like, I'm not going outdoors until spring. But I definitely encourage other people who either like the cold or who don't have to deal with our kind of cold to go out. Prioritize face-to-face interactions. Make a conscious effort to prioritize face-to-face interactions over digital communication, especially with friends and family. That's another one that's probably really difficult for me. I am a person who deals with social anxiety. And for a lot of people, they're like, how? You get online, you go live. It's different. I would much rather engage with people online. Hey, Mr. T, Rich Risings. I would much rather engage with people online than in person. Because the people be too people-y. And so that's just kind of one of those things where it's something that I'm going to have to overcome. But yeah, people be too people-y out there, and I don't like it. And COVID didn't help. And then, let's see. Okay, so then the last one that I have for you guys is practice the 20-20-20 rule. The 20-20-20 rule, is to help you reduce eye strain. So every 20 minutes, look at something that's 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. So especially for, people who work online, or even for, people who are constantly sitting online, staring at the screen. Set your phone or your watch to remind you every 20 minutes. To look away. So it's like you've been staring at the screen for 20 minutes. Now I want you guys to focus on something that is at least 20 feet away, right? You got to look away at something else and you need to hold that stare for 20 seconds. That way it helps to reduce the eye strain. So it's called 20-20-20. So yeah, if you can utilize maybe your watch or your phone to tell you, then you can say, hey, set reminder, set timer. Some people do it in 30 minutes. I mean, again, the 20 minutes is not, if it's easier for you to do it every 30 minutes, every half hour, something like that. But it's your reminder to stop staring at the screen so much. That's something that they taught us at work, to try to help us. But yeah, so those are the tips that I have for you guys today as far as digital wellness. And then, like I said, just remember the biggest thing that I would say, my biggest takeaway from today would be to make sure that you are cultivating a safe space. Like, make sure that you are sitting in safe spaces online. Because again, you don't want to be sitting and giving your time and your efforts and your energies to spaces that are not pouring back into you. Rich Risings, Crystal. You want to make sure that you are sitting in spaces that are also feeding you. That serve you some sort of positivity. That's why it's so important for me to have a safe space online for people to come and just have a breath of fresh air first thing in the morning, right? Because a lot of us do use social media to try to help our mental health. Nowadays people are feeling lonely. People are stressed. People are depressed. And so we turn to social media to get a bit of a break, whether it's a break from what's happening in our household, or a break from what's happening at work, or to connect with people because we're physically in a space where we're alone. But we have to be careful not to do that in spaces that are then also toxic, that are also bringing us down and aiding in the stress and the depression. We want to make sure that those spaces that we're sitting in are still pouring positivity into our lives. So that's why I say it's really important. Thank you, Gloria. That's why I say that it's really important to make sure that you are sitting in spaces that fulfill you, right? Make sure that while you're connecting with people online, that you're not connecting with people who don't align with your core values. Yeah, sometimes watching people's toxic mess can be entertaining, but if you are sitting in a person's live stream and you leave feeling heavy, you leave feeling drained, just emotionally drained, that was not the space for you. At least not that day. You know what I mean? And so sometimes it's okay to keep scrolling. If even with me having a safe space and talking about self-care, we might have a topic that is triggering for you one day. And it's okay for you to leave. Come back. Try another time, right? And I'm not even going to be mad at it. I encourage you to do so. Monday we talked about depression. Well, for some people, that might not have been a topic they could handle on a Monday morning at 7 a.m. So I would encourage people, even if it's a person that you follow and that you enjoy them, you want to, thank you so much. Thank you. And we're here, Coco, we're here Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I gave you a follow back as well. But yeah, we do this every weekday morning at 7 a.m. Rich Risings, Darlene. So yeah, we have different topics every day. Like Wednesdays are Wellness Wednesdays, and tomorrow we will have Attitude of Gratitude, which basically is our Thankful Thursday. So make sure you come back and visit us tomorrow, okay? But yeah, so again, you guys, just make sure you're being mindful. Happy New Year, Darlene. Make sure that you guys are being mindful of where you give your time, because time is the most precious thing that we have. Time is more valuable than money, okay? And time is the one thing that we cannot get back. So if you're going to give your time to someone, make sure that you're getting something from it. Make sure that you are having some sort of fulfillment, that you're receiving something in return for your time, because you can't get it back. Like, it's impossible. So that's what I have for you guys today for our Wellness Wednesday. Before we close, does anyone, thank you, Crystal, does anyone have any questions about anything that we discussed today during our Wellness Wednesday talk? And I have not uploaded Monday or Tuesday's live to YouTube yet. That is on my list of things to do today, along with today's live stream. So as long as today recorded, I will. You as well, Crystal. Thank you so much. I am planning to upload Monday, Tuesday, and today's live streams to YouTube for you guys today. So if anyone, has joined late or has missed the first 2 days, or even missed today's session, you should be able to access them on YouTube. If you are not following me or subscribed to my YouTube yet, make sure you go to selfcareclub.org for more information. There's a lot that's going to be happening over there. You guys, if you're not a part of the Self-Care Club, our virtual Self-Care Club, like, what are you doing? That link is on the website as well, though. We have a virtual community that is off of all forms of social media. It is literally on an app called Telegram. It is a private group chat. There are about 40 individuals over there right now from all over the world. We have someone from the UK. We have someone from South Africa. I think those are our furthest away members. But it is a supportive community where, we can come and get additional support from one another. So if you are not a part of the Self-Care Club, I encourage you to visit the selfcareclub.org and consider joining the chat on Telegram, because you will hear us kind of talk a lot about that. They also get access to more information. They're the first people I go tell what's new. They're the first people I share everything with. So consider joining that community if you're looking for another safe space. So, as always, in closing, I want to thank each and every one of you for your presence today, not just the gifts that you've shared, but your actual presence, because like we said, time is the one thing that we cannot get back. So I value, thank you, Papa Smurf. I value each and every one of your presence here in my space. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. If anyone is seeking information about life coaching, please head over to selfcareclub.org to get more information on how you can book your free discovery call for one-on-one coaching with me. And then I encourage you all to set your reminder to join me tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Let's Talk About Self-Care session. Tomorrow is Thankful Thursday, which means we are going to talk about our attitude of gratitude. So thank you, Mr. T. So again, I do appreciate each and every one of you spending your time with me today. And I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.